Buonasera, buonasera. Eccoci qui puntuali come promesso per la sesta puntata di Deadly Premonition The Director's Cut. Mando alle ciance, iniziamo subito perché oggi purtroppo posso rimanere un'oretta scarsa, quindi dobbiamo un po', come dire, ottimizzare. Allora, era, se non ricordo male, la mattina.
Previously during the investigation.
Tanto abbiamo già capito che i riepiloghi non fanno per noi. Ok, voi sentite, perfetto. Siamo alle 9:17 del, del giorno. Buonasera, buonasera. Ah, giusto, eravamo giunti al posto, ma dovevamo aspettare. Perché l'incontro è alle 3. Ora io mi chiedo, possiamo comunque tipo esplorare un po' l'interno prima? No, è proprio chiuso. Ovviamente se io vado, avanziamo con un gioco che dà soddisfazioni. Mi dice che è presto, ovviamente, no?
Zach, Emily arranged for people to come between 1500 and 1700.
We can't do anything here right now. Let's come back at the right time.
Ok, quindi dobbiamo sostanzialmente decidere se andare un po' in giro o aspettare. Vediamo se qui vicino c'è qualcosa che ci può. Qui ci sono gli sceriffi. A casa di Nick, la banca Book Mountain, l'ENG Diner. Però il diner abbiamo visto che. Ah, qui si può pescare. E non è neanche. Proviamo ad andare a pescare, dai, visto che non è lontanissimo, almeno vediamo come l'hanno fatto. Solo che devo tornare sul retro per prendere una macchina. Adesso ciuro un'altra macchina così abbiamo la benzina piena. Solo che non ricordo quale sia la mia, quindi per sicurezza prendiamo il gippone. Ah, mi sa che però non ci sono altre macchine, eh? Come ho detto, prendiamo la mia macchina. Ah no, c'è il gippone, perfetto. Prendiamo il gippone e andiamo a pescare. Ah, giustamente se sei in macchina, il punto dove devi arrivare è il parcheggio, non l'entrata. Allora, così a naso, se non ricordo male, dobbiamo andare verso destra. Cosa c'è York? Perché è un Meggi. Ah, così era un. No, però non sono sicuro. Sì, ok. Ho sempre girare a destra ogni volta che posso. Devo anche andare a mangiare, ma non adesso, chiaramente, che sono le 9:30 di mattina. Oggi, comunque, dopo proviamo questa cosa, poi aspetto, perché non. Cioè, voglio comunque andare un po' avanti nella storia. Avevo anche trovato il tasto per la terza persona, mi pare, nella macchina, però non me lo ricordo più. Allora, qui si può pescare, quindi io lascio qui la macchina. Ho la canna da pesca, ho le esche, vediamo.
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out?
Sì,
We
voglio.
need to be at the community center by 1500 today. Just think of talking in front of all those people. What do you think, Zach? It's going to get fun.
Ah, mi viene da pensare che sia giù, perché ho visto delle scalette. Ci si arriva da qua. Carino. Il ponte è bucato, piove anche sotto. Vabbè, in effetti sembra aperto. Ok, canna da pesca standard da usare con l'esca. Non so quanto si peschi bene con la pioggia. Ma non saprei, sai? Non ne so proprio nulla. Aspetta il momento giusto per fare il colpo grosso, ma se ti si spezza la canna perdi un'esca. Attenzione, per fortuna che non perdo anche la canna. E lancia la lenza, ok. Ma dai, una slot machine. Speravo in qualcosa di un po' più dinamico e non legato alla fortuna. Quindi devo semplicemente aspettare. Vabbè, ma cioè, va a culo, non va a... Immagino che più la lenza e le esche sono migliori, più slot positivi hai, però è un po' una stronzata. Lo faccio a caso. No. No, 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 no. Non mi piace, non mi piace per niente questo mod. Preferivo una cosa dove dovevo schiacciare io in maniera dinamica i pulsanti. Cosa legata alla fortuna nei videogiochi devono essere abolite. Perché privi completamente il giocatore... Vabbè, ok. Forse in base a quanto premi devi far fermare il cursore dove ci sono tanti punti in cui non scappa. E in teoria dovresti calcolare quanto dopo si ferma rispetto a quando premi tu. E era quello che stavo tentando di fare, però 3 volte l'ho fatto, 3 volte è scappato. Quindi. Poi sicuramente, ripeto, prendendo le esche buone, eccetera, avrai più slot positivi, immagino che abbiano fatto. Però al momento non è divertente per quanto mi riguarda. Niente, torniamo là e aspettiamo. Ci mangiamo qualcosa quando è ora, prima dell'intervento, vediamo cosa succede. Sa che abbiamo esaurito le conversazioni. Curva perfetta. Non vedo niente. E che... Cosa mi andrebbe di fare? Andiamo a mangiare dallo sceriffo, dai. Aspettiamo mezzogiorno là, mangiamo con loro, così vediamo se ci dicono qualcosa. E poi andiamo là e aspettiamo anche là, così almeno... Adesso c'ho i tasti di Meridian in mente, premo spazio per aprire le porte. Allora, qui possiamo metterci qua con calma e aspettare. Fino a mezzogiorno. 11,59, perfetto, abbiamo un pochino di fame, direi che possiamo mangiare. Più che altro dobbiamo trovare il tizio. Sarà in cucina? No, però posso farmi la barba. Vabbè, perché non mi faccio la barba? Sandwich al tacchino. Questo me lo prendo. Ah no, è la figurina del sandwich al tacchino. Pensavo fosse la barba in cucina, la faccio apposta, perché hanno fatto gli stronzi. Abbiamo tutti i peletti nel lavandino dove lavano i piatti. Cioè, era più furbo farlo dopo che mangiare, perché... Salve Emily. Cosa mi dice di interessante? Anche il ristorante è chiuso nei giorni di pioggia. Ah, è come dove lavoravi tu, vedi? Tutto torna. Per fortuna qui c'è Thomas, senza di lui sarebbe un disastro. Sono d'accordo, chi cucinerebbe per noi se non Thomas? Lei o George? In entrambi i casi sarebbe una tragedia. York... Io? Non mi pare una buona idea, proprio come pensavo. Se preparassi il pranzo qui ci sarebbe la fila. Lei è convinto della perfezione di tutto ciò che fa, non è vero? Se ha tempo di scherzare dovrebbe avere tempo di prepararsi per l'incontro. Scherzare? Dai, io parlavo sul serio. Possiamo parlare ancora? Pranzo è finito, prepariamoci per l'assemblea comune. No, no, che pranzo è finito? Oh,
Hello.
pranziamo.
So, what exactly do you want to talk to everyone about?
La pizza,
This goes
La
deeper
pizza
than-
riscaldata.
The townfolk may have heard about the matter, but they don't understand it. It's a very dangerous situation.
Perché stai mangiando un sandwich tu?
I hope most of them are decent
Ah,
enough to come.
tutti la pizza e tu il
problem
sandwich.
there. Emily has made all the arrangements.
I've told everyone to gather around between 1500 and 1700.
Great.
Tutto qui.
Reminds me of a film I saw recently.
Ecco.
The town is under attack by aliens, and so the mayor calls all citizens to the town hall to warn them. However, seeing this, the aliens attack the hall and wipe them all out together.
Is that relevant, Agent York?
Minchia, è per dire!
Fantastic. They used a combination of balloons and meat sauce for exploding heads. Those aliens start firing their death rays and heads start popping. Splat. Really quite something.
Agent York, some of us are trying to eat here.
I know, Emily, I'm one of them. Well, anyway, your cooking is the best, Thomas. Thank you.
No problem.
A posto. Perfetto, sono... Che ore sono? Mars Attack, ho pensato anch'io. Però in realtà a Mars Attack non spiattellavano le teste degli umani. L'unico film dove mi ricordo un'esplosione simile è Scanners, ma non credo c'entrino... No, forse c'entravano gli alieni Scanners, non ricordo onestamente. No, Scanners mi pare che fosse che c'erano alcuni con il potere di far esplodere la mente, appunto. E poi succedeva una volta, non è che... Allora, è la una, perfetto, ci beviamo un bel caffè. No. Che due coglioni sti bug però, eh? Oh. Sì, in effetti il caffè con latte. Cos'è che faceva? C'era una cosa che avevo preso che... Boh, vabbè. comprare del caffè, ricordiamoci. Sa che non si esce di qua, vero?
Zach, we can take a rest if you're tired.
No. No, volevo andare al supermercato a prendere qualcosa, però non mi fa neanche... È chiuso, cioè non lavora un cazzo di nessuno in sto posto con la pioggia. Il diner ha detto lei che è chiuso. La prossima volta all'albergo prendo un po' di... Di qua. Sembrerebbe di sì. Ma questo attacco è un po' che non lo rivedo. Non avevo voglia di riguardarlo, in effetti. Non è Mass Attacks, è proprio facendo esplodere tesserini che si eliminano con la frequenza acustica. No, quello sì, ma loro parlano degli umani con combinazioni di ragù e cose varie che Mars Attacks era tutta CGI per gli alieni. Tranne quando tipo entravano con le mani e... quando manipolavano fisicamente gli alieni, allora quelli ovviamente erano manichini. La scena nel municipio sì, c'era la scena al congresso americano, che riunivano lì i membri del congresso e gli alieni per... cioè erano gli alieni stessi in realtà che chiedevano al congresso di riunirsi per parlare di pace, poi... no, però vedi, aspetta, che... c'è sto cazzo di bug che... oh. Poi veniva appunto fuori che era la canzone, quella vecchia canzone. E da come la sto cantando io potete capire perché i marziani morivano. A ritmo con Yoda. I really can't. Welcome, by the way. Whoa. Something tells me the game just froze. Sa che è crashato, eh? Ora però ho un grosso timore. Yep. Non so come funzioni coi salvataggi automatici. See, freak arrives and the game stops working. I'm kidding, obviously this was already janky many times in the past. Allora, prima lo faccio ripartire così perché voglio vedere se ci sono dei salvataggi automatici per evitare di rifare tutto quello che ho fatto, perché francamente non c'ho voglia di rifarlo, sapete come sono fatto. If you didn't know that freak, I have a huge weakness when it comes to video game playing, and it's that if something like this happens, like a crash, something that puts me back in my game progress, not for my fault, for like 3 months and a half I don't want to see that video game any longer. No, this comes from a time where autosaves weren't a thing.
Previously, during the investigation.
Niente, abbiamo perso 21 minuti della nostra vita. A questo punto mi spiace, ma il pranzo può andare a ramengo. Allora, riproviamo a fare direttamente fino alle 3, vediamo se si blocca ancora. Se si blocca ancora faccio la magagna dell'altra volta, quindi ci godremo una cutscene molto velocizzata. We had the same problem a couple times ago, and the solution was to activate, to toggle the compatibility with Windows XP on, but it fixed the cutscene. No, I will just update you just so you know what's happening. Oh, he is angry. No, makes sense. Just spent. We had a similar problem once before. Yeah, same issue. And we solved it by toggling, like I was saying, the compatibility with Windows XP on. The downside of this was that it completely destroyed any kind of synchronization between the audio. It accelerated the game animations, and so it's going to be fun to look at if this solves the problem. It's not necessarily guaranteed that it's the same issue. So Windows XP Service Pack free. Windows XP Service Pack free. Let's play again. Windows should be different. It is different. Ok, vediamo. And we're meeting in 10-11 days. I keep forgetting that. So, let's see.
Previously, during the.
Vediamo se c'è ancora il problema dell'accelerazione. Let's see if it looks accelerated again. Forse mi sembra quasi giusto adesso, no? Non sembra accelerato. Looks fine. Allora, aspettiamo. Sembra anche che non ci sia il bug. Oh. Abbiamo trovato la quadra, forse. Sarebbe anche ora. Andrei a rifare il pranzo, ma sinceramente, visto il tempo che è già passato, non ho voglia. Tanto abbiamo visto che non è che ci fossimo persi niente di incredibile. Allora, lui ha fame, quindi ci mangiamo il sandwich al tacchino. Ci beviamo il caffè latte. Questo gioco è pazzo. Vediamo se va, perché non è neanche detto, eh. Ok.
Springvale Community Center. Now that's an impressive building. Clock tower is impressive too.
Che devi sempre essere guardingo quando entri?
Zach, I haven't been on stage like this since elementary school. I'm not some tree in the wind this time either.
Ah, sta proprio parlando. Col microfono acceso magari.
There's a piece of scenery. Bright red tree.
Thank you all for coming today. Getting right down to business. Agent Morgan from the Federal Bureau of Investigations wishes to speak with you.
Good afternoon. I'm Special Agent Francis York.
But call me York.
Some of
No,
you are already
strano.
aware by now of the tragic murder of Anna Grant. Truly a heinous, terrible crime.
To explain to you, freak, this is basically Twin Peaks, the video game.
I've come to this town to solve the murder of this young, beautiful girl. And to bring the one responsible to justice.
Perché non scritto Time of Death sulla lavagna?
Fortunately, incidents like these
Quella è la
have a
mamma.
tendency to happen again.
No,
I asked
non
to
è la
have you
mamma.
gathered here so I can share some advice in order to minimize the risk of further fatal incidents.
Non uccidete. Non andate da soli nei boschi.
Firstly, please stay away from any dark, dangerous, isolated places. Those of you with children, especially of Anna's age, please guide your children away from such places at all
Sono un po' dei
costs.
consigli del cazzo, francamente. Cioè, sembra abbastanza ovvio.
Secondly, avoid going out when it is raining. Now, I've heard the folklore story of the raincoat killer. There is a chance that the murderer is mimicking the story. Women should also be especially careful. I would hate to see more victims.
Carol McLean, owner of a bar and singer. Ok.
Who's the fashionably late one?
That's Carol, Thomas's sister. She owns a bar.
Thomas's sister.
Non devi essere così, tua sorella. Cioè, se vive in città.
So, as I have said, avoid going outside when it is raining. Young women should be especially careful. Report anything or anyone suspicious immediately. The murderer will be caught and brought to justice. But you must all remain on guard until we do so.
Sta un po' una parità di...
That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Parte l'applauso, no? Spero un po' un incontro del cazzo, un po' una parità di tempo. Cioè, mi sembra abbastanza ovvio tutto quello che è stato detto. Ah, c'è anche il tipo lì dell'ospedale. E vedi, è lui il problema. Anche nell'altra cutscene che non andava c'era lui. Like, he's the problem. He was in the other cutscene that didn't work the other day.
When paying for our sins, we must not frown. The loss of Anna was for that debt.
Ah? Minchia la gente che parla per enigmi, quanto la odio.
When purple fog covers our town, we'll all wander in hell, I fret. So says Mr. Stewart.
Ma li lasciamo parlare? Cioè, va bene che è potente, padrone di mezza città, però...
Sure knows how to steal thunder.
Well then, Zach, let's ask some questions before all these guys leave.
Sì. Uno che gira con una maschera anticasco ti aspetta. Apri. Minchia però, il frame stanno un po' andando dove vogliono loro. Ma Emily dov'è, scusa? Ah, è lì. Ma non volevo parlare con lui, sono andato...
Mysterious and very poetic.
Sono sceso dall'altra parte
I don't
apposta.
think many of your audience appreciated it.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, the purple fog appears with rain, soiling and ruining our town. The evil does not drain. Find out why the town is soiled. Remove the source from which it boiled.
Quindi è il nostro
And
alleato.
only then your case is solved. But for this to happen, to solve the crime, the proper must do the proper at the proper time. It is not yet mine, that is
Oh.
Mr. Stewart's time, not mine. But if you, Mr. York, find the right timing to chat with me, that is, with Mr. Stewart, may that be. Informative and fruitful, you will see. So says Mr. Stewart.
So, Harry, you know something. But there's some reason why you can't tell me yet. Is that what you're trying to say?
Cut the poetic rubbish, Harry, and tell us what you know.
C'ha
We can
ragione,
force
per
you to
una
talk,
volta.
you know.
I'll read you, freaker. I know, I saw the message.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, pay close attention to the signs, the omens, and the premonitions. Small they may be, they still are finds, and helpful to your investigations. So says Mr. Stewart.
Thanks for the warning, Harry. But don't worry. Me and Zach, we know what we're doing.
Okay. To dump the JPG file at the end of the save file, just keep them as two separate files. Even the enhanced version was clever enough to do that. What do you mean they dumped the JPG file at the end of the save file? Like the file extension or something? Il frame rate è terrificante adesso, spero che sia solo la stanza. So the save file form of LBA now has an image file dumped at the end of the... why?
Agent York, are you finished asking questions
No,
yet?
non ho neanche
When
iniziato.
you're done, let me know.
Okay.
We'll all get dinner.
Ah, minchia, già la cena, sì. What a pretty angel. Oh, I get it. Devo parlare con la sorella Thomas, ma non c'è. Spero sia la stanza perché è ingiocabile così, veramente. Fai domande, non c'è nessuno a cui possa fare domande. Che cazzo devo fare? Ah, forse devo mettermi qua? Caffè nero, subito. Top. Dici qualcosa su tua sorella, Thomas? Se riesco a inquadrarti e parlare.
Agent York, your words really made me think about Anna's death again.
Sì,
could
perché
one do
ho
such a
parlato
terrible
della
thing?
morte di Anna, ha senso che ti abbiano ricordato la morte di
I'm
Anna.
still in shock.
Thomas, I forgot to ask. You don't have a tattoo on your back, do you?
Tattoo? I do, actually. But why?
Could you show it to me, please?
What? Now? Here?
Thomas?
Yes, please. This is
Andiamo in un camerino, non davanti, non sul palcoscenico.
Okay. If it's gonna help you any.
Well, I'm wondering who G is now, but aside from that,
Did it tell you anything?
it told me that you didn't kill Anna.
Of course not. What are you saying?
Tutti sono sospetti.
You ought to see that tattoo, Zach. A big heart with an arrow through it and Love G in the center.
I don't know when he got that done, but we've all been through the 80s.
Buon tatuaggio proprio lì. Allora, per carità del Signore, usciamo da questa stanza. Ah no, tu chi sei? Cioè, tu hai un modello diverso dagli altri, però non posso raggiungerti. No, in realtà no, c'è un altro uguale a te più avanti. Allora andiamo a cena, che cazzo ti devo dire? Non ci posso parlare con nessuno. Porca miseria. Ah no, sono qui, ok. No, comunque devo salvare e rimettere l'altra versione perché così è intollerabile. Parliamo con gli altri, se non mi ci... Ah, ok. Così a caso. Va bene. Attenzione, la sorella di Thomas ha il suo perché, eh?
Anna was an airhead.
What do you mean? Are you saying she was killed because she was an airhead? Or are you saying that she was an airhead for being killed?
I'm sure she's still an airhead, even in heaven. She changed her hair every day. If she lost a pound, she'd be ecstatic. Gain one, and she'd almost be in
Sta
tears.
finendo il Virtual Highlight che sarà
She'd
mai.
make many
Quello in
friends every day
effetti.
at the diner, and she'd always have a smile on her face, always having fun. Everyone looked at her and knew she was a cute, adorable, loving airhead. But they would be smiling right along with her. I wouldn't be surprised if the angels smiled with her too.
Io sarei inquietato se devo essere sincero.
Isaac and Isaiah said that Anna was a fairy of the forest, a goddess.
Così. Sigarette forti. Ok. Comunque i frame stanno scendendo sempre di più, è incredibile.
Quint, you're here too. I didn't think you were the town meeting kind of guy.
Sei chiamato tutti?
A friend of mine was killed, you know, man? I'm not letting this one go quietly. I'll do anything to help you catch the scumbag who did this.
Fammi vedere il tatuaggio.
But vigilance is not justice.
Dipende.
Nothing good will come from desiring simple revenge.
Oh,
Dipende.
come on, I'm not that stupid. But I'm frustrated a bit just thinking that there's nothing I can do about it.
We each have
Hey
a
Starbane,
purpose.
how are you enjoying the game? It deserves more attention.
Raise
It's good to
on
see people play. I absolutely
Don't
agree.
forget that.
I know.
I've been playing
know.
this for a few
Just don't
days,
preach to me. You're sounding like my old man.
and I really agree with your message. Definitely.
Zach, wow.
You're seeing some
I'm in shock, like,
stuttering right now
easily
because
an electric
unfortunately
chair.
there's some
You just made me realize that I must be getting old.
freezing and crashing problems. I had to toggle the compatibility with Windows XP for the cutscene before this part, but the offset is that it's tanking the frame rate. So as soon as I can save, I will quit and
Good evening, Agent.
switch back to the previous setting. Brian the Sleepless? Well,
Good evening, Mr.
Brian, the Gravekeeper.
Gravekeeper. Oh,
Brian.
Mr. Brian.
yeah, he looks
I
like a
the retro
Gravekeeper.
look. Auditioning for Little Grave on the Prairie?
Anna. Oh, she was so beautiful. Too soon. Too soon.
And I will say that although I'm not a big
So
fan of Twin
so
Peaks,
sad.
I will admit that
I totally
I'm
agree.
enjoying this game a lot.
That's why I'm here, looking for the one who did it. Were you close to her?
The old version of the game,
Anna.
both PC and console.
Her smile.
Yeah, absolutely.
So warm.
Definitely.
Anna.
This is the director's cut I got
So
from
bright.
GOG some time ago. And, you know, it
There's
just
a
takes
graveyard
some
somewhere in
getting
town,
used to the
Zach.
controls and...
I'm not excited about the idea, but maybe we should at least check it out.
And I've been lucky. Ma questo al cimitero non è che deve toccarsi come uno zombie, in effetti. Like the fact that it's locked into... I know there's like a mod called DP Fix or something like that from PC for the PC that improves the resolution and everything, but I haven't tried it. It's just like the vanilla game, and the fact that it's locked in a 720p resolution doesn't really matter because having an ultra wide screen means that I would need to play windowed anyway. So can we go? It's not like I want to go, Emily. It's just that this frame rate is killing me. Like I can literally count the frames. And this usually plays much better. It's just that this compatibility thing that made things... What I'm not really understanding in what they were trying to do is all the shooting sessions, because before I knew it, I thought it was going to be much more survival. And I think the PC version is locked into the easy difficulty though, compared to the consoles where you could choose the difficulty. I think this is...
So you're the FBI agent, are you?
So got to read. So Japanese Twin Peaks. I think the guy who wrote script for it said there was he never saw the show.
I'm
That
FBI
that
Special
just
Agent
cannot
Francis
be. I
York
mean,
Morgan.
there are some things like
The general. I fought for my country in the Vietnam
even just
War.
York's obsession with coffee. It's
A real-life war
straight
hero.
Twin Peaks. So
So why are you living here?
the initial room in the prologue with the
Soldier, this is my
two
hometown.
the two children
After
is
a man
the two
returns from
twins.
war, there's no place to go other than his hometown.
I mean, the only thing
Your
that is
little
not Twin
speech,
Peaks
you
is the
mentioned
shooting
the
sessions,
Ranko
basically.
killer.
That's more Silent
that a
Hill
problem?
than anything.
You imbecile. The Raincoat Killer's no myth, not mere folklore,
Infatti
not
vediamo
a
noi.
fairy tale. It's based on actual events that happened in this town.
It is. I'm interested. Can you tell me more about this?
You kids today don't even
And
know how to ask
even
for something right.
before we had Deadly Premonition, there was the first trailer of the game, and at the
Soldier,
time
if
it
you wanna
was
hear
called
more, you
something
come to
like
my office.
rainy something, and it was even more Twin Peaks than
He
the final
literally
game.
exudes raw power, Zach. Despite the credibility issues, we should give him a visit.
One thing, though. Calls himself a general, but isn't that a sergeant's uniform?
He got demoted, maybe. I think this part of the game just wants to introduce you to all the characters you may or may not have met previously in your optional wandering through town. Rainy Woods, yeah.
Agent York.
And actually,
making
even
progress?
the actual original Japanese title is
Of course,
something like Red
plenty.
Seeds
Tell
Profile
me,
or
Dr.
something
Winnie's
like
on his
that,
funeral.
which makes sense
That's
because
still undecided.
York showed us
Sally
the
isn't really in any condition to do it
the
right
red
now.
seeds in the evidence bags that he's keeping.
Her mother?
And
I don't see her here.
he found one down
Anna was the
Anna's
sole
throat.
reason for living after her husband was deceased. Well, she's probably huddled up at home.
So he's the morgue guy, and I saw his
And I should
house.
probably take some time to pay her a visit.
Well, yes, you should. And I'd appreciate it if you could, too. But don't go too hard on her, okay?
So I think now we need to talk with Fiona, which is from the hospital, if I remember correctly. Chi l'avrebbe mai detto che gli sviluppatori di questo sarebbero riusciti a fare un gioco più difficile a far girare di Alan Wake 2?
Hello again, Fiona. Good to see you here.
Yeah, exactly. This is
Well,
like
Dr. Johnson told me to be here.
exactly like Alan
He
Wake
said it
2
would be
runs on my
important.
PC, but
Well, that was
it
good
is
advice.
arguably
He may be young, but he
almost
seems like
20
a wise
years
man.
before Alan Wake 2.
Oh, and he's a very hardworking person, too. Everyone thinks he's some kind of weirdo, But I don't think so at all. People don't understand why he's in the autopsy room all day. But I do. He's doing research to make the world a better place in the future.
Actually, it seems we're getting the opposite
he already
glitch
made a
of last time.
fortune
Last
in
time we
LA
had a
with his
crashing
career.
problem, and I had to switch to
I did not know
Windows
that.
XP compatibility. The game was running too fast.
You didn't? Oh, the
And
doctor is a very rich man.
Desynced
He has
the
a really
cutscenes
big
with the
house
dialogues
over
and
by the
everything.
lake.
But this time it seems to be doing the exact opposite. It's the animations are going too slow for
You must
the
be loaded.
dialogues.
Rich and young. A perfect combination.
But you don't get that feeling from him
I
at all,
admit I'm not
do you?
paying that much attention to the
doesn't
dialogues
show
right
it.
now.
That's one of the things I like best about him.
Well, I could have been fooled if it weren't for you. Thanks for the valuable information, Fiona.
I think we spoke with... No, there's someone down there as well. I would appreciate... There's so many people I should talk. Can I... Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Now, just give me a second to remove this freaking compatibility. Hoping there are no more cutscenes that require it. Okay, let's go. Let's go and let's go. Right. And now it'll turn out that it wasn't the compatibility, it was just the game. Okay.
Previously during...
Oh, thank Lord. Now we're talking. So, well, I guess I have to talk with everybody. No. Okay, this is going to be a problem. It appears that we do need the compatibility for this part of the game, for any cutscene. I will randomly try Windows Vista to see if it changes anything. If it doesn't, or it's back to the frame rate problem again, I will try to download GP fix for next time to see if it solves the problem. I'll be honest, if I have to choose between 10 FPS and the game crashing, I would choose neither. I mean, okay, let's see with Windows Vista
Previously during
compatibility. Maybe it's a sweet spot, who knows? Frame rate looks good. For now at least. Well, it looked good with Windows XP compatibility before as well. But cutscenes don't work. So what we will do is try one last time with, if the game allows me to close itself. It seems I cannot even have to close it from Task Manager. First time this has happened. Let's try Windows 98 again, because no, not 98 XP, because the solution I found online was talking about Windows 98, but it doesn't keep the window mode for me, and it still crashes at the end of the logos anyway. So Windows XP, let's see, just to see if the cutscenes work. I'm sorry about this, but sometimes this game definitely doesn't play nice, and tonight seems to be one of those nights. Maybe we managed to get through this phase because the frame rate at the beginning is tolerable. E stavo dicendo prima in inglese che se con questo andirivieni non risolviamo, adesso sto riprovando con compatibilità Windows XP per vedere se magari all'inizio regge un pochino il frame rate. Se non regge o comunque mi installo dpfix. No, see, actually the frame rate is good when I load, so it slowly falls apart for some reason. Okay, at least now we have cutscenes.
I'm U.S. Special Agent Francis York Morgan. And you are?
Olivia, Nick's wife.
Who was Nick?
Anna worked at your husband's diner, right? What kind of girl was she?
Well, she was a very hard worker. A nice girl.
Did you ever see her acting strange?
Well, not really. But there was one thing. Well, you see, the diner closes when it rains.
Yeah.
Many shops do that around here, as you might have heard. Anyway, Anna always seemed unfocused the day after it rained. And came in late, too. It was almost as if she used up all her energy the day before. Come to think of it, that was really strange. Did that legendary monster really kill her?
It wasn't a monster. Just a criminal. Criminal I'm going to catch and bring to justice.
I'm U.S. Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
L'hai detto quella di fianco.
I presume you are the owner of the diner that
Okay,
I worked at?
okay,
That's right.
Way, Nick.
I'd like to ask you a few questions about Anna Graham. Did you notice anything strange about her prior to the incident? Nick, are you hiding something?
No, nothing.
You sure?
I'm sorry, but I don't like repeating myself.
Potrebbe essere proprio dei core multipli. Magari la versione XP non può utilizzare i core multipli. Con compatibilità XP. Comunque. Beh, che grande interrogazione da agente dell'FBI. Ehi, sai qualcosa di Anna? Stai nascondendo qualcosa? No. Sicuro? Sì. Ok. E tu chi sei? Vediamo.
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York.
Wesley, owner of the gun store called Panda Bear.
Ok.
People around here call me the gunsmith.
Ecco perché ha la cassetta delle armi di fianco.
Was there something you want to ask me?
Quello che sto
How do you
chiedendo a
make a
tutti.
living running a gun store in a place like this? I'd be worried because there can't be that many customers.
Ma siamo in,
Work is a small
siamo in
thing.
America,
Shut
York.
up. I do gunsmith work in my shop, too. If you got the skills, the customers find you. All you need is a network.
I hope so.
Ah, così. Ah, mi fa vedere. Meter ufficiale dell'FBI, perché ce l'hai tu? Scusa. Guarda che ce l'abbiamo già un mitra, mi sembra. Abbiamo già perché mi vendi un lecca comunque? No.
You've got quite a selection here. No wonder people come from all around.
C'ha un mitra. Ha letteralmente un'arma.
I just got back.
I see. Well, I'll be sure to visit your store sometime. I'd like for you to take a look at my gun.
Understood. Look forward to it.
That sounded
The shop will be open
creepy.
again tomorrow. It's usually open from 2000 to 0600.
Ah, fai
See
turno di
you then.
notte. Ok. Il frame rate sta scendendo, però... Chi cazzo sei tu?
You're Isaac and Isaiah's mother?
Yes, I'm Lily.
E lì Ingram, moglie di Keith. Ok.
I'm FBI Special Agent...
Agent York, right?
Oh.
You are good.
The handsome special agent from the big city. The facial scar trademark. The way you introduce yourself. Everyone's talking about you.
Well, I can't say much about the scar. But the way I introduce myself, Zach and I consider it a kind of ritual of sorts.
Everyone has their own rituals. It's like always leaving the house left foot first. It's one of those things.
You certainly are a funny one.
So, have you noticed anything strange or out of place recently?
Well, Becky's been taking a couple of days off from work, but aside from that, I heard she was in shock after the murder. But...
You think there's something else?
Da Becky era la ragazza di Quint.
I took the boys along to see her today. She's always so kind to them, and they love seeing her too. But she took in the boys and told me to wait outside. Something about a special secret between just the three of them. I just couldn't understand it.
Now that's interesting. Thank you, Lily.
Dovremmo parlare con questa Becky, no?
Perhaps we should give Becky a visit tomorrow, Zach.
Ok.
Yeah!
Ok.
Hey there, FBI. I'm Keith Ingram.
Ah, ma quindi è il nonno quello che li ha accompagnati in giro, ok.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York. That's what everyone always calls me.
Okay, York. No problem, man.
So, Keith, I hear you run the Milk Barn convenience store.
That's right, man. Rock and roll!
Quanto stereotipato.
Do you
Beh, gioco
sell
giapponese.
raincoats there by any chance?
Yeah, but nobody ever buys them, though. Anyone who wears one of them, I say, just ain't a rocker. But you know, that scar
No,
of yours.
poi ci hanno detto che nessuno esce quando piove, quindi nessuno ha bisogno
That's a new one.
di un impermeabile.
I'll drop by your store soon, and let's talk then.
Yeah, cool, man. Rock on, FBI!
Polly, la conosciamo, qua dall'albergo.
Mr. Morgan, you're quite an impressive public
Ma ha detto un cazzo, ha detto non uscite di casa, non state nei posti bui.
A little of a play I saw when I was younger.
What kind of play?
I'm talking about back when this place was still called the Mercury
Perché ce
Theater.
l'avevano detto che prima
When
era
I
un
was young,
teatro.
I used to come here often with my husband. God rest his soul. We'd come on the weekend to see the latest play. He'd always pretend to be uninterested, but I could tell he was excited inside. He was just one of those kind of guys, really, thinking about it now.
Lui ha delle movenze.
Really, Polly?
Cioè, non lo dico con ovviamente
what's your
con
favorite
critica,
play?
con insulto, ma
I like
lui ha
some.
delle movenze un po' da
There was
autistico.
one in particular, but I can't recall.
Il fatto che quando la gente gli parla, lui si guarda intorno, si batte il dito sul petto.
Shakespeare?
Quello è il classico comportamento, cioè classico, è uno dei segni di autismo più comuni.
No, nothing. One more bell that doesn't ring anymore. I've always been forgetful about the plays we used to see anyway.
Certo che
Oh, and my husband would
trovarne uno normale in questo gioco è difficile, quindi la cosa si perde un po' via.
hours retelling what the play was about. His eyes were so sparkling, like a happy young boy.
I see. So, what's your favorite play?
Oh, I almost forgot, Mr. Morgan. We're going to have another guest soon.
Chi?
I have to get
Ah,
the
all'hotel,
things
ok,
ready.
sì.
Sorry for having to hurry away. I'll see you back at the hotel.
Zach, I think she could embarrass the toughest of the FBI's interrogators. She successfully avoided answering my
Quello è
questions.
vero.
Amazing.
Ma non dimentichiamocelo di questa cosa che non ha risposto. Hanno mandato un agente speciale per un caso speciale in un posto speciale. Ah yes, the hotpot lady. It's not like Twin Peaks had a with a log, right? Another connection, exactly. First thing I said when we arrived here was, oh yeah, this one. I wonder who's going to be the log lady in this. Because I'm not a fan of Twin Peaks, but I tried to watch it.
I'm Sigourney.
Sigourney. Okay. Now, what is the matter? Can you explain?
No time for chatting. I need to hurry. My pot is getting colder. Oh,
And
you're useless.
that's sort of the point where
We've met all sorts today, but
I met my match with Twin Peaks and I stopped watching because if I'd been Dale Cooper, at that point, with so many people just being weirdos, I'd just taken my gun out and shot everyone, and I was bound to get Laura Palmer's murderer. That
Jim.
wouldn't have been very
Thanks for
professional.
your help in the forest. How are Isaac and Isaiah?
They're fine.
Okay, so
They
he
really
is
seem to love their grandpa.
exactly.
Well, I guess they do, son. I want to keep them away from the filth of the material world as much as I can.
Madonna.
Their mother agrees, which is why she lets me take care of them so often.
Ma
And
Becky?
that's why I want you to solve this case quickly and go home. Those rumors about that scar of yours do more damage than good around here.
Madonna,
I
cicatrice.
reek of the material world, don't I? I have to in order to do my job. But I understand what you mean.
Well,
I'd think
and
the same
also,
if I was born
I
into
don't
this
know
side of
if
the
I
sack.
imagined that, but York's hotel room in the hotel looks very, very, very similar, if not identical, to Dale's room in Twin Peaks. Gina, we've met her when we
Hello
got
again,
gas.
Agent York. How are you?
That's cool that she says
And you?
hello again.
I'm feeling pretty good today.
Well, that's good.
So
to
there
hear.
are different
Do you have any
dialogues depending
information that
on
could
if
help
you've
me out?
met them already or not. That's cool.
Information. Sounds difficult and not my kind of conversation. Anyways, you should come by the gas stand again. I'll give you the best service in town.
Zach, perhaps you can tell me. Why did she bother coming here?
Perché ha detto a tutti di trovarsi? Madonna. I mean, if you said to gather everybody, everybody's going to come. You don't need to ask why some of them came. Frame rate is slowly
I ain't got nothing to tell the cops.
alla pula. They've used a very,
What about the
very
FBI?
slang version of police in the Italian translation.
I'm
Yes,
Jack.
if you met a character for
They
this
call
way, you will
me
know them. Otherwise,
Raging
I'll be shown as
Bull.
question
That's a
marks.
manly
Exactly.
nickname.
If you want info, it'll cost you. I only talk to Ben Franklin.
You know, first impressions are important.
I mean, considering coffee costs like $10,
More fun to meet.
100 for a tip is not even that much.
Zach, this is a waste of time. Let's go.
I think we spoke with everybody, more or less, and I'm sorely tempted to save and quit and restart again, but all right, that was unexpected. I think we spoke with everybody, at least on this side. Ah, that was painful. Let's see if we can tell Emily that we're done and we can't. So that means we need to speak with somebody again. I guess we haven't spoke with him.
Agent Morgan, here's your chance to get to know some of the townsfolk. Don't let it go to waste.
He reminds me of an actor. Let me search for the name. Who played well, not a sheriff, but he was dressed as a sheriff and had the exact same mustache and the exact same expression. John Voight. The role he had in Halls. If you search for John Voight Halls, he looks exactly like this. Well, he has less of a mustache, but he looks exactly like George here. Well, on the other hand, at the end of each chapter, you also get a lot of money. Yeah, that is true. In fact, I've never had money problems so far in the game. Well, also considering that it's probably locked into easy difficulty, as I was telling you. The shooting parts, I pretty much did them all just with the main infinite bullet pistol. So there really wasn't much of a challenge so far. I died once in the quick time event at the lumber mill, where you have to hold your breath inside the locker while the raincoat killer is looking for you, because I forgot that you're supposed to keep holding control instead of just pushing it.
So finding your way around, okay?
But
yes,
apart from that,
but some people are hard to get along with.
and so far I don't know if that's tied
we're used to things like
to the
that.
difficulty as
Lots more
well.
people in the city than there are here. Well, that's true.
But
I started
also
simplifying things
the
a bit.
hunger and
Here's my new way of
wakeness
thinking.
bars
It's simple, really.
are not really
There's only three types of people:
a concern
criminals,
for now.
victims, and investigators. Everyone else are just vegetables. Vegetables called other people.
I don't think vegetables
really
is a
are.
word you want to use. Okay. Oh, we're done. I guess. Yeah.
Agent Morgan, I'd like to let everyone go home now. Let's go outside.
Okay. What a nice slideshow. I think the shooting sections were included only because the game published, so the action games are popular too. I can definitely agree with this assessment, because me and my moderator, we were discussing this, and we got the same impression that it's a completely different style and mindset, and especially having you begin the game with a shooting section like that takes away a lot of the suspense, in my opinion. Because when I didn't know anything about the game, I thought that it was going to be like, a sort of survival horror with some investigation sessions, and sometimes you would meet those Japanese-like ghosts or whatever they were. Of course, by the trailer you couldn't tell much. But I thought they would be pretty rare, pretty dangerous, and you'd have very few resources to battle them. But instead, it's really an arcade game, and in that regard, and that's a pity. I mean, I'm guessing that as we go on, enemies will get but only limbo. Exactly. Instead, they just do the limbo because they're like all in reverse. And
Well then, Agent York, do you have any plans for this evening?
Nope.
I was going to head back to the hotel and go over my notes. I need to contact HQ and give a progress report too.
Okay, and let's call it a day here.
Sounds good.
Contact my office when you finish your report. We'll pick you up tomorrow morning. Diane, the owner of the art gallery.
All right, she was out of town.
All right then, let's do that.
So I guess.
Hold on, Agent York. We're going out to eat at Nick's Diner. Would you like to come with us?
That would be cool.
Diner. That might be nice.
Thomas is a great cook, but Nick is the real deal. No visit to Greenvale is complete without eating at the ENG.
A very appealing proposition. Zach, what do you think? We can always go back to the hotel after eating dinner.
Sure.
Or go directly back to the hotel.
No, andiamo al ristorante.
You decide, Zach.
That's... I hope they don't go directly. I wanted to close. We'll go directly, right? Yeah. I recorded in the game as a scheduled keep. Also, you can look through the windows of most... Yeah, we noticed that. I think at first the game was more about tailing people, gathering clues and such, but they were forced to include more action. Yeah, we got that impression as well.
Long time now.
So it's twisting, so we'll be stuck in your head for a long time after... Yeah, my first impression was that it sounds very similar to Super Mario World theme song.
In some ways, but it's usually a peaceful place.
We had our fair share of cases, but just the regular stuff. A high school kid shoplifting from the milk barn, maybe? Or some hot-headed kids fighting, fueled on liquor? Nothing more than that.
I'm sorry you have to see this in this
Agent York, what kind of cases have you
slideshow
dealt with in the past?
mode.
Not much different from those you've just mentioned.
And we're together with
The case I
Emily
was
and
on
George and
until
Thomas
last
are on
month.
the other table. That's interesting.
Well, the guy killed 7 girls in a 3-month period.
Well, and he says it like that, like
He
it's...
sawed their heads off from the neck and took them back to his
They're
house.
eating.
He cleaned the skulls up and used them as utensils in his daily life.
That's...
To eat from or as a urine cup.
I mean, nothing Jeffrey Dahmer wouldn't do.
He hated women. That was his way of dealing with it.
So, like a proto-incel?
He'd fill skulls with ice, cola, and rum, and he'd down it in one gulp. For him, that was a holy ritual.
Getting thirsty too.
The question of his mental state was the pivotal point in the court case.
I don't think there's much to discuss about that.
Oh, man.
I mean, do you even need to do a debate to decide if someone like that is
100%.
mentally infirm?
Drinking from the skulls. Well, that is one thing.
No.
But those he had used to relieve himself, he would then just use them to drink from, too. Yeah, that was too much for me.
That's where he draws the line. You can drink from a skull, but you cannot drink from a skull where you've peed in.
Not sanitary. That's probably not the problem for most of us.
What else? Ah, yes. An ingenious law school student.
I mean, I live in a town where the tap water we get is taken from the lake, so...
Thank you, Agent
Nothing
York.
new for
Now,
me.
Let's talk about something else.
You don't want to hear anymore?
No.
That's a shame, isn't it, Zach? I was just about to get to the good part, too.
It sounds like you live in a totally different world. I mean, you're like an elite agent who just jumped out from a movie or something.
Or a TV series.
In your eyes, we must look like we're just playing cops and robbers. Ugh, I give up. I can't compete with you.
Is she drunk?
Don't say that, Emily. The cases you have solved are all
Sto parlando 120 e mi sembra un po' troppo, nemmeno pediti.
Size doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's...
There is no big and small.
I mean...
Crimes always have a criminal and a victim.
Well, duh.
No victim will ever welcome a crime, no matter what its size.
Well, duh.
So, fundamentally, there is no difference in size.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I do agree. It's phrased horribly, but I do agree.
Well said, Agent Morgan. We work day and night to preserve peace and order in this town. You understand that, right?
You don't work day and night. The sheriff's office was closed until 9 a.m.
Of course. But still, I don't view shoplifting and Anna's murder as the same level of crime.
I do.
Me neither. I never even dreamt that such a thing could ever even happen in this town.
Well, that's your point. That's your problem.
I keep on expecting to see Anna here in this diner, waiting on tables.
If you see her waiting on tables, I mean, we should think of relieving you from command, because that would be problematic.
Excuse us, Agent Morgan. We should have made dinner a more uplifting experience. Let's call it a night.
Okay. Good night, then.
So I will save and call it a day for today. And I will try to find this DP fix and see if that solves the cutscene problems at least. Give me a phone. There's a phone right there. If I can reach it. There's a wall, so I need to do this. This is painful. I wonder why this happens, and especially why last time the opposite happened. Oh, it's a post office. I was wondering, why would a normal house have a phone nearby? And it's a post office, so that makes sense. Okay, guys. I will call it a day, or a night, rather. And so I assume you are enjoying the game, right? Good to know people are still playing. Enjoy this title. Yeah, if we can overcome these issues, but I'm confident we will be able to. I will definitely see it through the end, and at that point I might try the sequel as well. I didn't even know there was a sequel to this game, to be honest. I think it used to be a Switch exclusive, which I don't have, but I think they made a PC version as well later, so that's fine. So yeah, that's it for me tonight. Thank you again for stopping by. I more or less, unless I have some other engagements, I always stream at this hour until this hour, like 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, depending on when I start. Pretty much all nights. So if you're free and you want to keep watching, you're very welcome. And so yeah, that's going to be all for me. I will, like I said, I will try to download this DP fix and see if it solves the problem. Oh, I should have made a different. Actually, no, I don't think you can create a different save file, because I wanted to test DPFix with the. Well, I mean, I will install DPFix, and simply if we get another crash, it means it didn't work. So that's pretty much what it boils down to. And yeah, so once more, have a good night or a good rest of the day, depending on where you're located in, and see you next time on this point.